Starts right now.
And a good morning to you. It is Wednesday. It is April 19th. And as I've been saying all morning so far, Steph is out. And that means Alyssa is in. And we're glad to have you here today, especially for GMSA at 9.
Yes, I'm happy to be here. Good morning, everyone. And thank you so much for joining us.
So we spent the morning griping about the humidity. Yes. It actually turned into some moisture out there as far as a little bit of drizzle, a little bit of fog. And we've had reports throughout the area. Does that continue at this hour, Justin?
It does. We still have some droplets there on some of the screens. It's going to be the light drizzly stuff that's just enough to make you use your windshield wipers, but not much more than that. We're going to see a little bit of that in the next couple of hours. Probably goes away. And like yesterday, sun will try to pop out during the afternoon. Let me show you the radar. There's really nothing on there. As we always say, drizzle doesn't really show up on radar, but it is still there. And we could see a light shower or two. It's not out of the realm of possibilities as we go throughout the next couple of hours, as I said. But then the skies will try to clear out some. I do need to mention there is a severe weather risk today, but it's west of San Antonio. So if you're watching us from Del Rio or Eagle Pass, that's an area we'll be watching closely this evening for some storms coming out of Mexico. Those could be strong to severe. We'll, of course, keep you updated. Meantime, temperature-wise, 70 degrees at the airport, 72 Hondo, 72 in Carrizo Springs, and 75 right now in Del Rio. Around San Antonio, right around 70. But as you guys said, very, very muggy. There's a lot of humidity in the air. Pollen count is in, and despite that humidity, molds dropped today. They're down into the low territory, and this is the first time in a long time that we've had a pollen count where everything is low. KSAT 12-hour forecast, 73 noontime, still cloudy, but some sun this afternoon. We start to add in those small rain chances later this afternoon and this evening. And really, I think that is mainly going to be west of San Antonio. Temperatures right around 82. Pretty busy forecast, though, coming up. We've got some changes we need to mention with a frontal boundary this weekend. More on that in just a few minutes, guys.
Checking TransGuide right now at just past 9 in the morning. No accidents to report right now, but we are seeing some moisture on the roads right now. Just a few wet spots out there. 1604 Petranca looks good. As I said, no accidents. We do have 3 or 4 spots where we have stalled or disabled vehicles.
And we have the hottest topics coming up right now. Here's today's 9 at 9.
30 years ago today, Waco was at the center of a tragic end to a siege that drew global attention. A 51-day-long standoff between the religious sect, the Branch Davidians, and federal authorities came to a fiery end. 4 federal agents and 82 Branch Davidian members died, including 24 children, in the initial assault and the raid that ended the standoff.
Today also marks the somber 28th anniversary of the Oklahoma City bombing. 168 people were killed, including 19 children, after a rental truck with explosives was detonated outside of a federal building. 2 former U.S. Army soldiers were convicted of the attack. It was viewed by them as payback for the deadly federal raid on the Waco compound 2 years before.
Texas lawmakers took a small but significant step towards gun control legislation yesterday. A House committee is weighing several bills, including some that could restrict firearms possession in an effort to prevent more deadly shootings. There are still several hurdles to overcome before any gun control legislation could pass. And even if the House does pass that bill, its odds of passing are slimmer in the Texas Senate.
A bombshell settlement in the Fox News defamation case. The network will pay out nearly $800 million to Dominion Voting Systems to avoid a trial. But the legal fallout may not be over yet. Fox News is facing another lawsuit from another voting machine company that could be even more expensive. No trial date has been scheduled for that case yet.
The debt ceiling drama in Washington is heating up, and even though the deadline to make a deal is looming, the lines of communication between the White House and House Republicans appear worn out. House Speaker Kevin McCarthy says he has enough support to get the GOP's debt limit bill passed along party lines, but it's not expected to get through the Democratic-led Senate.
The Biden administration wants to continue to offer COVID-19 vaccines and treatments to the uninsured at no cost. They unveiled a plan to continue its COVID program for the uninsured after the federal supply is exhausted. The 2-part initiative would use pharmacies, local health departments, and federally supported health centers to deliver the care. The program would run through December 2024.
Boeing's production setbacks are expected to mean airlines will have fewer planes to handle summer demand. Last week, the company announced problems with a subcontractor's fittings for its 737 MAX jets. Now, Boeing's CEO says inspections and repairs will delay delivery on dozens of MAX jets.
The housing market may be headed out of a slump. The Commerce Department reports single-family home building was up for a second straight month in March, and permits for future construction surge. The turnaround shows home buyers taking advantage of mortgage rates coming down from recent highs.
Netflix says it will roll out new password sharing limits in the U.S. by the end of June. The streaming giant also says it's closing down the DVD by mail service it started with. And it was announced that Netflix added 1.75 million subscribers in the first quarter of this year. That's up nearly 5% from a year ago, but still falls far below the 3 million new subscribers analysts had predicted. And that's today's 9 at 9. In your morning headlines, the Supreme Court deciding two cases. They both have to do with abortion and religion with wide-reaching implications.
Plus, there was a warning about that garage that collapsed in New York. And your feel-good story for this Wednesday. David Sears is here with these stories. Good morning, David.
Morning.
Good morning. This is already the NFL comeback story of the year.
Oh, it absolutely is.
Give it to this guy. We'll have that for you in just a second. But first, we're going to start with this. The Supreme Court expected to make a ruling today on the use of the abortion pill mifepristone. It is used to terminate pregnancies. A couple of weeks ago, a federal judge here in Texas denied the FDA's approval of the drug, despite the fact it's been used for the past 20 years. The case went to the Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals. They overruled the judge, but put some restrictions on the use of the drug. So now the case is in front of the High Court. Justice Samuel Alito will be making the decision since it is an emergency case. That order will determine whether or not the lower ruling will stand, which will determine the access to the pill and the approach the FDA took to approving that pill. The court could decide to take up the case now or let it play out in the lower courts. The Supreme Court also heard a case that will have a huge impact on employees and employers. It has to do with taking off on Sundays and religious holidays and whether or not your boss has to give you time off to observe those days. A former postal worker, Gerald Groff, who was a Christian, wanted Sundays off to observe the Sabbath. So he basically took them, didn't show up, was disciplined. By law, employers cannot discriminate based on religion unless that religious accommodation causes the employer undue hardship. And that was the argument made by the Postal Service. He created hardship for fellow workers. The court comments seem to agree with the Postal Service.
How do we apply it to a situation where you have to pay new workers? Where you have to go short-shifted.
You might have many religious people in a workplace seeking the same accommodation for Sundays off or other kinds of accommodations.
He was required to work Saturday, Sunday, and holidays, and now he doesn't want to work half the days he was hired to work.
The decision from the court should be announced in June. There was really no warning. This parking garage in New York just collapsed. Pancake. It went from the fourth floor all the way down to the basement, floor on top of floor. One person killed, several injured, not to mention the vehicles that were crushed. A garage worker was the one who actually died, but 5 others made it out. One of the survivors fell from the second floor to the ground and walked away. Buildings next to the garage were evacuated. Rescue crews brought in a robotic dog and drones to look for more survivors. They were able to stream pictures in real time.
My car was collateral damage for the building behind it, and it was crushed and totally gone. But again, none of that matters with human life at stake.
We heard a big boom. Everyone was scared. Everyone thought that was their last time being alive.
And we said there really wasn't any warning, but there sort of was. The garage had been cited for violations 64 times since 1976. In 2003, the garage was cited as hazardous after inspectors found cracks in the concrete. The owner was fined, paid it, but certificate of correction was never filed. And here is your midweek pick-me-up. Remember Damar Hamlin, an NFL football player who said he died on national TV during a Monday Night Football game? He suffered from a heart condition called chromotio cordis. I'm not sure if that's how you pronounce it, but that was a heart condition that he suffered from. Well, Damar's back. Hamlin has been cleared to play football again. He made that announcement yesterday.
I'm here to announce that I plan on making a comeback to the NFL. I died on national TV in front of the whole world. That right there is just the biggest blessing of it all, is for me to still have my people and my people still to have me.
The doctors and probably team of doctors that were taking care of him excluded any other cause of heart disease. We do think it is safe for athletes to go back to play because the likelihood of that exact perfect storm of events happening is quite rare.
3 different specialists have given him the okay to play. And you remember that moment he was laying on the field, and then the days after, I mean, this whole country came together and prayed for him, prayed for his family. And here, I can't imagine what it's going to be like when he steps back on that football field in uniform in Buffalo for that first game in front of all those fans.
And we spend the rest of the season holding our breath every time he makes a big play, right?
Yeah.
All right, wishing the best for DeMar. David, thank you. Right now, 9:08, 69 degrees. Still ahead on GMSA at 9.
We are getting an inside look at a local robotic surgery program that is inspiring the next generation of medical leaders.
The newer generations, I think, they get very excited with the technology. So I think that's very interesting to get them from that point on, because sometimes they don't even know. They think, oh, medicine is boring and all, but there's a lot of exciting things.
We'll have more on that. Plus, the biggest party in San Antonio kicks off tomorrow. We're getting ready for Fiesta with a look ahead at all the events to come. We'll be right back.
All right, taking a live look over the city. We're about to talk to Justin to find out about the weather for this weekend's Fiesta. Justin, what should we expect?
Well, it's kind of a mixed bag. I think we're going to get some pretty good weather Saturday, but Sunday presents a chance for some showers and storms. And we're going to have some chances here and there all the way through the Fiesta forecast. But it's not going to be raining the entire time. It's not going to be an all-day rain event or anything like that, but it's just something we've got to watch. So let's first start with the radar, and we'll show you that. Actually, no, we're not starting with radar. We're starting with the look outside. We've got cloudy skies and 70 degrees. Dew point is at 67, and we've got south-southeasterly winds at 9. It is so very muggy out there. It's resulted in some drizzle and some fog in spots, and just an overall cloudy morning. It's going to stay fairly warm and fairly cloudy, I think, through the first half of the day before some sun pops out and we get temperatures even warmer, probably into the 80s a little bit later today. I want to show you live radar. There's really not much to show you here. We have some very, very light returns, but drizzle does not show up on radar, and there is some out there. Not much, but some. The cloud cover is really the important thing here, and right now we are socked in with clouds. There are some breaks right there, Uvalde over to Hondo. We've seen some breaks down along the coast, but it's going to take some time for these clouds to break up. And temperatures right now, 67 in Kerrville, 72 Hondo, 72 Pleasanton, 72 in Kennedy. That's a popular number. 68 Helotes, 68 in Bulverde, and 70 right now in Seguin with cloudy skies. Dew points, well, you probably already know this, but they are very high. We are in the muggy and oppressive category. It is very, very sticky. Now, this does change as we get into Saturday. Really, by Friday night, probably, we get some drier air shoving in here. We'll push these dew points down a little bit. But until then, it is going to be very sticky. And as we look at the forecast here, so clouds slowly melt away. And by the afternoon, we're probably in the low 80s. A lot of places will be in the 80s with maybe a few upper 70s in spots, but warm and humid no matter where you go. Now let's take a look at the forecast. And this is important this afternoon. I don't think we see any storms here in San Antonio, but we've got to watch what happens out west. We'll likely get a storm or two developing in the mountains of Mexico, and some of those could move towards Del Rio or Eagle Pass. We've seen this scenario before. But what we have to watch for is the threat for some severe weather. Hail would be the main threat with any of these storms. And keep that KSAT weather app handy this afternoon in case we do need to pass an alert along to you. That would be this evening. This is 8 o'clock, by the way. That moves away by midnight, and we're left with just some more clouds, and it starts off muggy, maybe a little drizzly tomorrow morning. As we get into Thursday afternoon, this is when things start to become a little more active. This is 3 o'clock tomorrow, where we're adding in a 30% chance of rain as some showers and storms start to pop up. This is out ahead of a frontal boundary, which is going to be sitting just to our north. So that's where the best opportunity for rain is. But I think everyone has a shot to see a shower or storm tomorrow. And there is a risk that any storm that pops up could be strong to severe. So that's another thing we'll be watching. And even going into late Thursday night, early Friday, this is midnight, we'll have a chance for some storms. On Friday, there's a chance there, but our front comes through pretty early, so that takes away the chances, and that really shifts those chances down to the south and east. So just a 20% chance on Friday. And that's that cooler, drier air I was talking about moving in by Friday evening and into the weekend. So let's talk about the severe weather risk. Today, this is for today, it is out west of San Antonio, isolated severe storms. As we get into tomorrow, notice the entire viewing area gets included here in our risk for severe weather. On a scale of 1 to 5, it's a 1. It's low end, but it is there, so we've got to mention it. As we get into Friday, that shifts further south and east and really away from our area. If we're going to see any storms, it's going to be early in the day on Friday. So here's the extended forecast. We'll go 84 tomorrow, 30% chance of rain. 87 on Friday, just a 20% chance, and that's mainly in the morning. Then it cools down some. 78 Saturday, but we've got to pay close attention to Sunday. We've upped our rain chances a little bit for the second half of the weekend. 30% chance of some showers and storms, and then we'll have some more isolated chances Monday and Tuesday. So we'll see how this plays out with Fiesta. Just have the KSAT weather app with you. We'll alert you if there's anything nearby.
Okay, that's planned. Thank you, Justin. Fiesta kicks off tomorrow, as we hinted at, and people are making sure they have everything they need to be decked out for the big party.
We found a crowd of shoppers at Amos downtown yesterday. Everyone there was looking for those must-have items to get them in the Fiesta spirit.
That's literally the reason I came. So I live off of 1604 in Shanefield, and the reason we came here was because they're so much more cheaper. So we didn't want to spend $20 on one at the actual festival, so we decided to come here. Yeah.
I bought not enough of these for the house. I'm doing the whole fence around and the top.
We're finding it very interesting. We're finding things that we didn't even expect to find.
The 11-day party kicks off with Fiesta tomorrow from 4 to 10 p.m. at Travis Park. There will be live music, fun for the family, and of course your favorite Fiesta foods.
If you can't make it out tomorrow, you can tune into our Fiesta special hosted by Steve Spriester and Ursula Perry. You can watch it live right here on KSAT or any of our digital platforms.
Some of the other popular events coming up include Oyster Bake this weekend at St. Mary's University, then the Texas Cavaliers River Parade on Monday. NIOSA begins on Tuesday evening, and then you have a chance for the Battle of Flowers, That's next Friday morning into the afternoon, and then the Fiesta Flambeau Parade wraps things up next Saturday night.
And we still have tickets available for purchase for our KSAT viewing parties for the Battle of Flowers and Fiesta Flambeau parades. Just head to KSAT.com and click on the web story to find more details. And Mark, help me out. How do you say that parade one more time?
Flambeau.
Flambeau. There we go. This is my first year, you all. I'm so excited. The tickets include access to our KSAT party, grandstand seating to watch the parade, and much, much more.
If you can't make it out to the parade, you can watch it right here on KSAT. Stephanie and myself will be broadcasting Battle of Flowers next Friday morning. And don't forget, there's still time to enjoy our KSAT Insider membership sweepstakes. One lucky winner and 3 of their guests will be royalty for a day to ride their own float there during the Battle of Flowers. You have until tomorrow to sign up, and the winner will be announced during our Fiesta broadcast. You can sign up right now on our website at KSAT.com.
Plus, make sure to tune in to GMSA every morning at 6:45 a.m. to learn our secret location of where we will be handing out our KSAT Fiesta medals. We can give you a hint. All of our locations are at an HEB, but you'll have to tune in to find out which specific store will be at that morning.
We also have Weather Authority medals, SA Live medals, Texas Eats, and Adam Caskey Fiesta medals to give out. To find out where you can score those, head to KSAT.com.
And Mark, we got it all. I know we've mentioned a lot of Fiesta stuff right now, so if you can't remember it all, scan this QR code right here on your screen with your phone. It will take you directly to our Fiesta page on KSAT.com. We have everything you need to know, including event schedules, parking information, and how you can watch all the parades.
Okay, I think we earned our paycheck there.
Oh, absolutely.
9:20, 69 degrees.
Here's a look at what's coming up next.
2 local moms are making their dreams come true after winning a big prize. We show you their business that has taken off from this garage next.
Welcome back. 9:23. 2 San Antonio moms on a mission to reduce waste by selling gently used clothes.
Tiffany Huerta shows us how a big prize is helping their dreams come true.
I'm looking for bright colors, and we want to make sure all the pieces can mix and match together.
After dropping off their kids at school, Nicole Boynton and Kara Livingston begin their day at work.
We'll get the size, the climate, and the gender.
The two moms operate their business Hand Me Up out of Livingston's garage on the northwest side.
It is a curated bag of secondhand kids' clothes. So think a wardrobe, mix and match, 3 bottoms, 3 tops, and one kind of bonus item like a dress or something like that.
The company offers clothing sizes newborn up to age 6.
For the family that wants to choose secondhand, we want to make this as easy as like click and shop on Amazon.
They started this business about 2 years ago, and they've sold over 3,500 items.
As of now, we've served 40 states.
And they are not slowing down. They recently participated in the 2023 Community Fund. It's a competition hosted by Geekdom, a collaborative working space downtown.
It's kind of like Shark Tank. Like we went in, we pitched, and they asked questions.
This year, Hand Me Up won and took home $25,000. They are excited for this next chapter, and they have a message for anyone wanting to start their own business.
Just do it. Just if you have something you want to do, get started. Like just get it out into the world.
Tiffany Huertas, KSAT 12 News.
Time check, 9:25, 69 degrees. There's more ahead on GMSA at 9.
Including the latest episode of Spreester Sessions. Steve sits down with the local head of the FBI to talk about the increase of violence we're all seeing and how the community can step in to make a difference. Plus.
Good morning, I'm Max Massey, and take a look at this. We are talking about robots being used for surgery here in San Antonio. We're also going to be talking about the future of medicine, what you need to know in just a bit.
Methodist Healthcare is home to the largest multi-specialty robotic surgery program in the United States.
They perform heart surgery without having to open the heart by magnifying the tissue times 10 and using robotic arms to conduct the procedure.
Max Massey gives us an inside look at Methodist Texan's intuitive Da Vinci system that is helping San Antonians and inspiring local students.
This is the camera that goes inside. Then you have right arm, left arm, and you have an extra arm that can help expose for you.
Meet Dr. Renata Ford, a robotic heart surgeon.
You pinch like this, and then you can actually move. So you can do things like pass the instrument from one side to the other.
Dr. Ford is walking us through how when you look through this lens, you're essentially authorized to perform surgery with these robotic arms.
It allows a minimally invasive approach to surgery, allowing for faster recovery times, sending patients home same day, if not the very next day.
The director of surgical services tells us robots like these, they're being used to perform complex surgeries all around the country, and they can be a huge benefit.
Helps with surgeon fatigue. Instead of a surgeon holding those instruments, for hours on end trying to perform a surgery, they can, the robot will hold the instruments for them.
Transferring of your movement into the tip of the robot, and the acuity, you see 10 times more with the camera. So it's much more precise.
So not only are these robots being used now for things like heart surgeries, but they're also influencing and inspiring the youth here in San Antonio.
Very refreshing to see them excited about technology, and also not thinking, man, we're gonna have to open somebody's chest to fix their heart.
Health Careers high school students were invited to explore the Da Vinci device. And Dr. Ford says these robots, they actually might spark the next generation of medical leaders.
The newer generations, I think, they get very excited with the technologies.
Max Massey, KSAT 12 News.
Taking a live look across the city right now. It's looking pretty gray and cloudy out there, but we're going to talk to Justin soon to find out what we should anticipate for the rest of the day.
Yeah, gray and cloudy for probably through lunchtime. We're not going to see much sun. As we get into the afternoon, like yesterday, the sun may try to punch out a couple of times. Now the warm temperature's up. It is going to be a warm, humid day. And as we look at the weather headlines, here's what we have to watch today. Some storms out west. They could be strong to severe. So we're talking along the Rio Grande here, Eagle Pass up to Del Rio. We've got higher odds of rainfall coming up tomorrow, and we could see a few strong storms involved there. Sunday update. We've upped rain chances on Sunday, so we want to make you aware of that. And it will be cooler this weekend. We've got a front scheduled to arrive late on Friday. Right now, 70 and cloudy. Dew point is at 67. South-southeasterly winds at 9. It is awful humid, and we do have a little bit of fog that we need to let you know about. Kerrville and Bernie Stage reporting some lower visibility. Isn't too bad. But there probably is some drizzle mixed in there too. Those are about the only two spots that we see that. We may see some more fog and drizzle coming up tomorrow morning. So here's our KSAT 12-hour forecast. Cloudy through about noontime and then mostly cloudy this afternoon. We will put in a 20% chance of rain by the evening hours, but that's generally west of San Antonio. And again, we've got more rain chances coming up tomorrow, early on Friday, and again on Sunday. So we'll talk more about that 7-day forecast for you here in just a couple minutes.
Crime may be down slightly in San Antonio overall, but a massive spike in car thefts is behind a 3.4% bump in property crimes.
During a presentation on the city's first quarter crime stats, San Antonio police revealed that car thefts are up more than 59% compared to the same time last year.
Garrett Berger spoke with the police chief about what could be driving the rise in thefts.
Assaults and other thefts may be lagging behind 2022 numbers in San Antonio, but car thefts have hit the gas in the first 3 months of 2023.
It's jumping everywhere, not just here in San Antonio.
Through March this year, there have been 1,600 more reports of stolen cars in the city than there were in the same period last year.
I don't have any evidence-based reason why that's happening.
One thing police can point to is the vulnerability of certain Kia and Hyundai models, which have been the focus of a social media trend.
A variety of reasons why they're stealing them, but I mean, it's out there that they're easy to steal.
The department's top 10 list of the most stolen vehicles last month is filled with Hyundais and Kias. In general, the police chief says cars are often stolen to commit other crimes or to be resold across the border. Though he said the department doesn't have data showing that particular point.
The conversations with other law enforcement agencies is that they're heading to Mexico with them.
Whatever the reasons, McManus thinks SAPD's vehicle theft unit needs beefing up.
Also, 18 folks for 1.5 million population is just not enough.
For 4,300 in 1 quarter, I can see how that's maybe not enough.
And while the chief says the department will overhaul its strategy for investigating property crimes in June, he would not provide any details. Garrett Berger, KSAT 12 News.
Mass shootings and increase in violence is something we've seen more frequently nationwide, but also here closer to home. The local head of the FBI is asking all of us to do more to stop these incidents before they happen. Our Steve Spreester sat down with the special agent in charge of the San Antonio division of the FBI, Oliver Rich. They talked about the challenges facing his office and his challenge for everyone in the KSAT viewing area.
See something, say something, and then do something.
They are often in the shadows, like this FBI training exercise at the Alamo Dome. Darkened helicopters dropping faceless agents into dangerous scenarios. But for the man who's been in charge of the FBI's San Antonio division for almost a year now, he wants part of this to change. Secrecy has its place, but so does community.
So it's a community-based approach to addressing the potential for violence of someone. So if someone in the public calls and says this person might be a threat, then that information gets shared with the Fusion Center. The threat mitigation team will look at it.
And I realize you can't get too specific, but you have already seen this work.
In some cases, we ended up putting them into a mental facility, and then in some cases, we ended up arresting them. So we've seen it work.
It is called a threat mitigation team, a way to stop violence before it starts. Working with the San Antonio police and fire departments, they can respond to people's concerns in a coordinated way. It is one of the major changes Special Agent in Charge Oliver Rich has seen implemented since he took over, becoming the local face of the FBI. From Navy pilot to Special Agent in Charge of the San Antonio Division of the FBI. When you think about it, those things do have something in common, a sense of duty.
The reason people come to work here is not because they're come to work and get rich. I mean, we all come to work here because we have a sense of duty and we're dedicated to being part of something that's bigger than us.
This former Navy pilot who first came to San Antonio to see his fellow midshipman David Robinson play basketball is now calling the Admiral's home his own. The San Antonio division of the FBI is huge. It stretches from Waco all the way to the border. And while they deal with all sorts of crime, Oliver Rich thinks violence and the threat of mass shootings are where the FBI can and is making a difference with help.
We have some incredible people here in San Antonio doing some incredible work. Oftentimes it's not in the news, but we know it and we're pushing information to partners and sharing and being collaborative in that way. But it's important work.
That was Steve Spreester reporting. You reach the FBI by calling the number on your screen. That's 1-800-CALL-FBI or by visiting tips.fbi.gov. It's a lot more of Steve's interview where they touched on a number of subjects from drugs to the border to him being a Navy man in a city where the Army and the Air Force are so big. You can watch the entire interview right now on our website.
The Spurs got the green light to extend a pilot program that allowed them to play home games away from the AT&T Center. RJ Marquez tells us more about the team's plans to play future games outside the Alamo City.
All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed. Any abstention? Motion unanimously carries.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
County commissioners voted unanimously to allow the Spurs to play more regular season home games outside the AT&T Center for the next 2 seasons.
We're going to have 3 games in it, so 2 in Austin, 1 international game. For us, that's Mexico City.
Spurs Sports and Entertainment believe this agreement is a win for San Antonio and a way to build their brand from Austin to Mexico.
We think it's incredibly important for us to capture the competitive advantages that are available to us throughout our region.
Spurs General Counsel Bobby Perez says internal surveys show that 90% of fans in the region, including Austin, want to watch games in San Antonio, and 77% want to spend a night here, meaning more overall business for the area.
Bring people to hopefully Spurs games, if not a Spurs game, maybe an SAFC match, if not an SAFC match, a concert at the AT&T Center. And again, pushing the San Antonio brand.
The Spurs doubled down on their commitment to San Antonio, pointing to their $500 million performance campus, which is slated to begin opening this August.
This is just the first step in the Spurs playing more games away from the AT&T Center. All of these games, including the international game, are all subject to the NBA's approval and scheduling, but it appears likely as if the Spurs will get at least 2 more home games in Austin over the next 2 seasons. Reporting from the Bexar County Courthouse, RJ Marquez, KSAT 12 News.
9:38, 70 degrees. You're watching GMSA at 9.
We mentioned the changes Netflix is making briefly at the beginning of the show, but what does this mean for you, and when will these changes take place? We'll have those details coming up.
And we're back at 9:42 on the eve of Fiesta 2023 starting here in San Antonio.
It's Fiesta Eve. Hard to believe it's here. I keep thinking back to last year when the weather was so incredibly nice for the Battle of Flowers and Flambeau. It's probably not going to play out that way this year. It's looking quite a bit more humid as we look down the line. We've got some rain chances too. Let's first start outside. We've got temperatures in the 70s, 70 degrees at the airport, 71 Stinson, 72 Kelly, 70 at Randolph. Southeasterly breeze at about 10 to 15 miles per hour. So that's bringing in a lot of moisture. I think last year was kind of an anomaly with Fiesta. It was beautiful, but in April, it's hard to get that kind of weather. We do have some pretty nice weather coming up on Saturday, but that's probably our one day where we get non-humid weather. 67 right now in Kerrville, 72 Hondo, 72 Pleasanton, 72 in Uvalde, 70 around San Antonio right now with some 60s. As you get up into the elevations, 68, Helota 64, Bernie Stage 67 right now in Bulverde. Here's our KSAT 12-hour forecast. As you plan out your day, know that it will be cloudy for the first half of the day, and then we'll break out into some sun by the afternoon. Notice we put in some rain chances here too, 4 or 5 o'clock. 20% chance, but really this is for folks west of San Antonio, where we could see a stray storm or 2 pop up. Temperatures will be warmer today than they were yesterday, but not by much. Rain chances this week here in San Antonio. Well, we mentioned today, but we bring rain chances up tomorrow, 30% here in San Antonio tomorrow afternoon, and there's a small chance Friday morning with a frontal boundary. Then we take away rain chances Saturday and bring them right back on Sunday. Sunday looks like it could be somewhat wet with some more small rain chances Monday and Tuesday. All of this to say we're in sort of an active pattern. We're not going to see just a ton of heavy rain here, but there will be rain chances basically almost every day throughout the 7-day forecast minus Saturday. There's a look at the cloud cover. A lot of it here over San Antonio. That cloud cover is funneling north with the humidity, so a lot of humidity pouring north into parts of East Texas, and we're going to see the mostly cloudy skies continue again through about noontime. And then I want to point out that by this evening, we could see a storm or 2 develop out west. So this is that 20% chance I was talking about. It's also a time frame when we could see a severe storm or 2. As we get into tomorrow, rain chances start to return, not so much in the morning, but by the afternoon, we'll start to see isolated showers and storms. 30% chance at 3 p.m. tomorrow. And then by 6 p.m., some decent coverage of maybe some showers and storms. And we're going to have to watch for a few strong storms tomorrow, too. So that'll be something we'll be watching here at KSAT. And then by early Friday morning, this is midnight, we could see more showers and storms, mainly east, and then we get our frontal boundary through, and that takes away any sort of rain chance. And I think that probably happens midday Friday. And then by Friday evening, cooler, drier air is starting to work in, and that continues over into Saturday. The severe weather risk today is generally west of San Antonio. It's isolated, so on a scale of 1 to 5, about a 1. As we move into tomorrow, this includes the entire area. On the scale of 1 to 5, we're at a 1, maybe a little better chance as you get north and east of town. And then by Friday, the risk very quickly scoots east. And I think the best chance will be probably out towards Houston on Friday. So here's how it looks in the 7-day forecast. 84 tomorrow, 30% chance of rain, 20% chance Friday as that front comes through, and then it clears out some on Saturday, 78 after a morning low of 57. That'll be nice, but moisture tries to come back in on Sunday, and that brings, again, better rain chances Sunday, 30% chance. Notice it'll be fairly cool, 67 on Sunday, small rain chances Monday and Tuesday as well.
All right. Thank you, Justin. Well, we mentioned it briefly in the 9 at 9. We wanted to explain more about the changes coming to Netflix.
The popular streaming company is making changes for password sharing and getting rid of DVD rentals. ABC's Leonel Moise explains what this means for you.
This morning, Netflix is in a state of evolution, and it could be good news or bad news depending on how much you watch.
See you on the other side. On the other side.
The streaming giant is delaying its password sharing crackdown, now saying it will roll out by summer.
You are the bane of my existence and the object of all my desires.
We see some of these services attempting to tighten their finances up by monetizing a lot of those people that are currently sharing a password.
The restriction of password sharing has already been successful in other countries like New Zealand and Spain. And in a letter to shareholders, Netflix acknowledged the shift will make some people cancel, but it's only short term. In Canada, Netflix says its paid membership base is actually higher now than it was before their password crackdown, as customers set up their own accounts or added a paid member to theirs. Meanwhile, the end of an era when it comes to those red envelopes that started it all. After a 25-year run, the company is ending its DVD mailing service. Back in 2009, ABC News got an inside look at a Netflix distribution center.
I'm seeing ahead of me a world of at least hundreds of thousands of discs.
Millions.
With a nod to the company's humble beginnings.
What was your source of DVDs in the beginning?
Very early, it was Best Buy, and we go down there and buy a bunch of DVDs, absolutely, buy cases of DVDs.
Things have changed, but before its transition to streaming, Netflix shipped more than 5.2 billion DVDs. The first ever shipped?
It's showtime.
Beetlejuice in 1998, the most popular DVD.
When you look at him, you think of me.
Yes, ma'am. The Blind Side, starring Sandra Bullock.
If you still own a DVD player and you'd like to be one of the last people to rent a DVD by mail, the final discs will ship on September 29th. Lionel Moise, ABC News, New York.
9:48, 70 degrees.
We're used to seeing Ray Romano on screen, but in his new film, he's also playing a big role behind the camera. When we come back, I'll look at his new movie coming out this weekend and what inspired him to create this film.
Just about 9:52, actor Ray Romano steps behind the camera for his new movie.
CNN's Rick Damigella gives us a preview of Somewhere in Queens, which arrives in theaters Friday.
Down, breathe.
Ray Romano makes his directorial debut in Somewhere in Queens.
How long have they been doing that?
That's 3 or 4 games.
The film was partly inspired by elements of Romano's family life.
My son was a basketball player. My son was graduating. He wasn't going to play in college. I felt very sad at that last game. I'm going to miss this thing I shared with him.
Where's he going to college?
No, he's coming to work for us, a family business, construction. I kind of was living vicariously through him, and that was the idea, was what if this happens to a guy who has much less, who feels invisible in his life and is small. I always try to do what I think is best for you. And that was the jumping off point of the story. You know, my wife is a breast cancer survivor. My son has struggled with social anxiety. So you took little elements and you put it in this world.
Come to dinner Sunday.
Ma, she don't
I would love to. I love Italian food.
The film includes a scene of a traditional Italian-American family dinner.
That is one of my favorite scenes. It's all choreographed and planned, and you know, you speak over him, you guys speak, you know, and then we all kind of talk over each other. And then you get in the edit room, and it's okay. You've got 18 different camera angles. You've got 9, 10 people. You know, how does it all mesh together?
Any more meatballs?
Oh, I'm making some more.
Oh, no, please.
Too late.
No. Ready for more meatballs in Hollywood? I'm Rick Damigella.
All right, well, now let's look at the forecast. We're sitting at 70 right now. 82 today. There's a small chance of a storm out west. A little better chance for some showers and storms coming up tomorrow. Of course, Fiesta gets underway. Just keep an eye on the radar. Small chance Friday morning. Clears out some. Saturday looks good, but we bring rain chances back on Sunday and some small chances coming up next week.
Okay, so tomorrow, a little party we call Fiesta kicks off here in San Antonio. It all starts with the first big event, Fiesta.
The party will be at Travis Park from 4 to 10 p.m. There will be live music, fun for all ages, tons of food. I mean, you just got to be there. You can check out the entertainment lineup on our website, KSAT.com.
All right, so if you can't make it out tomorrow, tune into our live coverage beginning at 8 p.m. sharp. You can watch it here on KSAT or any of our digital platforms. Steve Spriester and Ursula Perry will be hosting, and we believe Sarah Costa and Adam Caskey will be out there as well.
The party is free and open to the public, and at the end of the night, there will be a huge fireworks show. Look forward to that.
All right, right now on KSAT.com, we have everything, and we mean everything you need to know to make all of your Fiesta plans. We have event schedules, parking information, and how you can watch all the parades. Just scan the QR code on your screen, and it'll take you to our KSAT Fiesta homepage. And a viewer let us know earlier, said, don't forget about Taste of New Orleans, which is April 21st to the 23rd at Sunken Gardens. And that is also on our website. We didn't leave it out. It's just there are so many events. We kind of have to pick and choose what we show on the air every day. But the really cool thing about this year's Fiesta, it's Alyssa Cole's first as a San Antonio resident and a new member of the KSAT family.
Yes, I'm looking forward to it. I'm King Williams. I'm hearing that's a great festival
it's a
parade
fun one.
too.
You can't go wrong with any of them. You can't go wrong with any of them, but you got to try, you know, a few here and there every year and mix it up.
Let's just say this, you're at the right place, being at KSAT, for a sampler platter of all the different events and foods and everything that's going on. We're going to get you ready for this, Alyssa.
Yes, I'm excited. And everyone that sees me on the field, I know you're asking me about the KSAT medals. I don't have them on me. I wish I did.
Yeah, they have them under lock and key somewhere. It may not even be here at a secure underground facility somewhere, but no, we don't have medals. But at some point, hopefully we'll be able to hand some of those out in public. Look for our giveaways during GMSA.